as a story. You know, I I request everybody to listen to these discourses as if you are listening a story, not as if you are attending some kind of spiritual discourses or anything. Bhagavad Gita, though it seems to be a little bit, sometimes it seems to be a little bit asymmetric, unsynchronized, because Krishna says something now and then in the next verse he says something else. Though it seems to be unsynchronized, but there is a synchronicity. This is what our mind is. Whatever Krishna is saying, it is just a reflection of the mind of Arjuna. Arjuna's mind is the mind of a human being. So Arjuna's mind in Bhagavad Gita is represents my mind, or your mind, or our mind. So this is how our mind goes, from one subject to another subject, from one object to another object. And because Krishna is the master. Krishna is the master, and he is the guide, spiritual guide. He is taking us towards this path which will lead us beyond our confusions, our doubts, our fears, our grief. And not only this, it is going to lead us to self knowledge, liberation. So Krishna is taking us beyond this realm of Maya, beyond this realm of this duality, and we are going to elevate ourselves into the state of unity with God. So with Bhagavad Gita, when we listen to Bhagavad Gita, this is what we get. We also become enlightened like Arjuna did. So it's not that just by listening to Bhagavad Gita we see that it is where Arjuna has got a liberation. It's not like that. If you listen to Bhagavad Gita very carefully, with faith, with love, then you will see that you also have attained the state of liberation. You have also attained the state of enlightenment. So the story of Bhagavad Gita is the story of our own enlightenment, our own transformation from the human form into divine form, our journey from universality, from individuality to universality. So this is what Bhagavad Gita is all about. Now, how does Bhagavad Gita start? We all know, we have heard it many times. Still, for the new people, I'm just just going through a little bit so that they can have this in this idea how we are approaching this. So when this war of Mahabharata was due to commence, the stage is set and the war of Mahabharata is due to commence. These two armies are in front of each other, and at any time this war is going to happen. At that time, Arjuna, he is the prime warrior from the Kauravas. So he had this idea of taking a better look of this formation of armies, of this formation of these two armies, so that he can have a outlook of what is going on and how these things are going to take shape. So he wanted a very closer look, a very detailed look, and that is why he asked Krishna to come between these two armies, so that he can have this impartial and a very a very impartial this account of what is happening. So when he went in between these two armies, then he saw that the people against whom he is going to fight are his own relatives, are the people who are who belongs to their family, who are their grandparents, who are their uncles, their brothers, their grandsons, their sons, in-laws, friends, relatives, well-wishers. So these are the people with whom he wanted to live a blissful life. These are the people with whom he wanted to have he wanted to enjoy life. And these people are standing against him in war, and this is a divisive war. It's not, it's not going to happen, like, undecided. So the result of this war will happen only by the death of one group. Okay, so Arjuna, while seeing this, he knew what is going to be the outcome, because either he has to die or he has to kill. So who are the people whom he is going to kill? He is going to kill his own people, his own family members. So he got completely depressed. He got completely, absorbed into the ocean of grief. And ultimately he surrendered before Krishna, saying that I cannot fight. You guide me. You guide me into my path of betterment. But with this, with this mental formation that I have now, this is not possible for me to fight. And that is the time when Krishna started to deliver these teachings of Bhagavad Gita. First of all, Krishna started by challenging Arjuna's valor, courage, because he is a brave man. He's a brave man, he's a brave soldier, he's a great, saint. Arjuna was not only a soldier, but he was a great saint, a great austere. So Krishna, he challenged Arjuna. What is this? What are you doing? Just leave this unmanlyhood and come out of this. Stand up and fight. But, Krishna thought that maybe this is enough for him, for Arjuna, to come out of his mental, his mental agony, and and start fighting. But this did not happen. He saw Arjuna was completely broken. He was completely broken. Arjuna said that, see, Krishna, it's not possible for me to fight. I'm broken. And I surrender before you, because I am completely deluded about my own, I am completely deluded about my own responsibilities, my own karma, my own duties. So I cannot do anything. Just lead me towards the path of betterment, to the path which is the most preferred. So then Krishna starts to deliver his teachings. The first thing that Krishna tells Arjuna is